Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Psychic Medium Raymond Guzman, and want to say thank you to all of my rays of light for being here. If you're a new listener to my channel and you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and hit the red subscribe button on the bottom right hand corner of this video, as well as the notification bell icon, so that way you can be notified of any future videos that I do publish. That being said and done, I'm going to get into an announcement, but today I'm going to be doing a psychic reading on Jennifer Love Hewitt, the beautiful Jennifer Love Hewitt. Those of you that may have know her from Ghost Whisperer, one of my favorite shows, and also Party of Five, which was in the 90s. I loved Party of Five. And most recently, if you're watching Fox, you would see her on that show 911. So she's been in different shows in different movies. Some of you may recognize her. I Know What You Did Last Summer, and those movies. So she's a wonderful actress, and I'm going to be getting into that. But let me go ahead and make an announcement here on my channel. So I'm going to get into the next slide here. All right, so tomorrow I'm going to be on Instagram live with another medium who's fantastic and I simply adore. His name is Seth Browder, and he is a psychic medium, and we're going to be doing a live discussion on the paranormal. So for those of you that are tuning in, it's going to be tomorrow at 2 p.m. Central Standard Time, 1 p.m. Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and 12 p.m. Pacific. So go ahead and tune in. Again, my Instagram is at Psychic Medium Ray. And if you're not on Instagram, I will try to record it and kind of put it on YouTube at the same time. So if you miss it, you can always see it on my Instagram later, because usually they're there for like 24-hour period. Or you can come back to my YouTube channel, and I should have it on there. If it's not on that same day or evening, it'll be later in this weekend, but I will be putting it on here as well. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. We're going to be talking about the metaphysical. We're not doing any live readings, but we are going to be discussing about the metaphysical and the paranormal. So I'm very, very excited to share this experience with my friend Seth Browder, and be sure to follow him, and his contact info is on this flyer below. And it's Medium Seth Browder if you can't see it that well, but you should be able to if you're using a phone or your laptop or computer. So let me go ahead and get into the reading. All right, so when I get into the beautiful soul of Jennifer Love Hewitt, what I get immediately for her for 2019 and beyond, whatever is coming up for her, I see that she's in a very creative phase right now with her career. So she had taken a hiatus. For those of you that don't know, she had children, and she was being the mom role. She stepped out of Hollywood for a while, yet she was still very relevant, and I feel like she was in different roles. But the longest one that she would have had would have been Ghost Whisperer. And with that show, the thing is that I feel like a lot of people in Hollywood, and everyone has their opinion on this, I feel like they categorized her as just being good in that kind of role, because she had been in roles like in the movies, the horror flicks like I Know What You Did Last Summer, I Still Know What You Did Last Summer, and then going into a medium role of being Jennifer Love Hewitt as Melinda Gordon, there on the show Ghost Whisperer, and basically talking to the dead. So I have to give her props, and this is one of the reasons that I really, really do like Jennifer, is because she was very brave as an actress to accept that role, and kind of show the world that what mediums can do. And there's a lot of certainty to that show. I've watched it maybe once or twice, 2 times, all of the seasons. So I really feel like she really embodied the character and was very good. But the thing is that, as I was saying, is that when you are falling into that kind of category of horror flicks or the paranormal, in the industry, they tend to kind of label you or kind of perceive you as only being good for that kind of role. Of course, she is multi-talented and she can excel in anything that she is. So I feel like for producers, when they look at her, they kind of try to picture her more as categorized into that category of the paranormal, or doing these flicks. Obviously, she's proven herself with her her latest, work endeavors, that she is very, very talented and she fits well and she can do any kind of role. And there's other shows that she's done, like The Client List and etc. So overall for her, I do feel, like I said, I see there's a lot of this going on, a lot of new ideas for her, and their work is very demanding for her, but she's balancing it very well, being a mom, and I feel her children, she's a good mom and a good wife. And so again, with her husband, and keeping that relationship, constantly keeping it fresh, and giving tender loving care to every single part of her life, not just her personal life, but also her social life and her friends. So I see that she is really balancing everything as it is right now. I also feel like there is some moments, even though you're in the spotlight and you're surrounded by people, there's a lot of people that, just see you as a celebrity and they don't see you as the person. And with her, I feel like she does feel lonely at times, and she does crave solitary, like her privacy. She does crave, being, just having time to recollect her energy, recharge, and feel like a human being, not, just the actress and not just the celebrity that she is, obviously. I do also I'm also getting that she is at a point right now, this month in particular, in for the next 4 months of this year, there is going to be some emotional situations, whether it's in her work life or it is just her and herself, her feelings towards certain people, and that's what I'll leave it at, that I see her kind of like reassessing, who is her, her friends, and who, is really spending time and really encouraging, and who's being negative. Because even though, like I said, everyone that's out there could relate to this, some of you may have friends that are very supportive, but at the same time, they're very negative, and it's almost judgmental, like, because they, either are in a perfect relationship or they're happy in this job. They tend to kind of rub that in your face every time you're around them. And that's kind of like the feeling that I get. But overall, she's a very sweet person, very down to earth. I feel like she is someone that, also is not going to take crap when it comes down to it. She has a sweet side, but she also has a side where she is going to really defend herself and her family. And that's where her main focus is. Now that she is back on TV screen, on the TV screen, and she's, in these shows, there's going to be more opportunities coming for her, and a lot of other projects that I feel that she is going to get her hands in. Very interestingly enough, what is coming through, and I don't know if this is something that she's discussed with her husband, but there is something about being like an entrepreneur, business owner. So I don't know if between them they've contemplated opening up, some kind of business, but I do get that there is some kind of communication with business, kind of supplementing their income, because when they're not acting, they're not making money, obviously, and sometimes they are from royalties, that are paid out, for shows that still are airing on the networks. But I do see like an entrepreneurship, and I know that she's had her, for those of you that don't know, she's not just an actress, she's also a producer, and she is also a musician. She has sung before and performed, and she's had music out. So, I feel like, that is like a part of her that she needs to go back to as well. So I see a lot of writing as well for her, apart from the business ventures that she's going to be having coming to her. But I see a lot of writing in a book. This could be like a diary or a book of songs, of poems. And I see her, kind of writing, and I feel like there is some music that she may want to kind of get back into that. And for some reason, Spirit is saying that this is going to be therapeutic for her, very cathartic, for her to kind of go back to her roots. It's kind of like she's at this point where she's having success as an actress, but, it would be good if she can go back to music and kind of revisit that, just even if it's experimenting with sounds in the studio, that is going to help her a lot. But I feel like as time evolves, people, we all grow and we change, and some of our passions, our pursuits may shift as we spiritually grow along our path. And for her, Spirit is saying that she's going to have options of what she can do, and I feel like this is one of the ways, one of the areas that she's being guided to. So Spirit is saying basically anything that she has been contemplating or thinking about is something that she should definitely continue to do. She's on the right track, in other words. So whatever you're doing, Jennifer, out there, you know, if you're listening to this, you know, you're on the right track. You just need to kind of follow your instinct. And I do feel like genuinely, she is very intuitive as well. Apart from being, you know, on the show of Ghost Whisperer and doing that role, I feel like deep down as a, you know, not as the character Melinda Gordon, but as a regular, you know, person, Jennifer Love Hewitt, she is intuitive. And we all have a certain level of intuition. It's just tapping into it. There is going to be some trying times this year, you know, for her going into next year. And again, I feel like she is dealing with a lot of heaviness, maybe from, you know, just work and people, how they treat her, producers or, you know, fellow co-workers, not necessarily producers, but there is something about her shadow self, and kind of like we all have a dark side and a light side. And I feel like she's going to kind of have to go through some of these periods where there may be some, you know, a little bit of depression, a little bit of emotions, not feeling very well every day, not feeling very motivated. And it could be about how she perceives her body image. You know, after giving birth, it changes a woman's body chemistry, and that's a known given fact. And women undergo changes and transformations in their hormones, and you know, you know, some women bounce back, and some women, you know, they don't, and some women just, you know, accept and love their body the way it is. And then there's, you know, with actresses, the thing is that with any actress or actor, your body is like constantly at the forefront of, you know, producers, and they want a certain body type, or they want a certain height, and they want a certain, you know, image, and they don't care regardless of how many years of experience you have, etc., when it comes down to it. And this is what I feel like she's kind of going to be dealing with. And it may not be people telling her, you know, you need to lose weight, or you need to do this, or you need to cut your hair, but it's like more of her internally processing a lot of this information. But she is going to be successful. I do feel like her husband is her soulmate. So she's very much in love with him. I do get that. She's gonna, you know, go through a period where she's going to kind of like expand and glow in a positive way, and be a role model to other people. So I see her doing some philanthropist or kind of humanitarian work as well. This could be her contributing or attending a charity and donating some proceeds to it, or helping in some kind of way. This is part of her life path and who she is. Health-wise for her, you know, needing to definitely watch her blood pressure and inflammation for Jennifer. And even though she is an actress and she's gorgeous and she is, you know, she takes care of herself, these are just things that she needs to kind of watch. And I'm not a doctor, I'm not diagnosing, but this is just, you know, what Spirit is showing me for her. So again, inflammation in her body is something definitely that is going to have to be watched for. When it comes to her husband, interestingly enough, I get that he is going through some issues, and depression is something that's can hit very close to home for him, and how he would cope with that is definitely going to be dependent on how well he's able to, you know, how well he's doing in his life at the moment. And so I feel like it may affect them in some kind of way, where she's going to have to be the stronger one and kind of help him work through these issues. I feel like he's a great guy. He's very, you know, very much an energetic match to Jennifer. But again, there's going to be some issues that he's going through. And I feel like for him, there's something about February 2020 that's going to be very life-changing for him. It's a big turnaround or big shift for her husband, our partner. And I see that there are going to be some things that they're going to have to kind of, you know, sacrifice, which could be like their time being spent together, maybe their different work schedules, or they'll be away, or there's something else about, you know, their finances that are going to have to be closely looked at. And that's what I'll say about that. But I feel like everything's going to be okay, but there is going to be some tough times here where, you know, that's just common in any relationship, in any kind of, you know, a marriage or relationship where you're going to go through some ups and some downs, but you stick together. Because again, I feel like this is a spiritual union. It's divinely orchestrated. It is something where they are soulmates, and this is not their first go round together in this lifetime. I do get very clearly for Jennifer, you know, that she needs to stand her ground when it comes to people, whether it's a producer, it's people like that, because I feel like she is going to encounter that, like I said, or even tabloids, you know, lying about her. She's going to have to set her foot down and really stand her ground and defend herself, because I feel like she is the, you know, she is the type of person that, you know, she will say something and then that's it. But and she doesn't like confrontation. I don't feel like she likes that. But obviously, you know, she's in that world, and so there's going to be jealousy among actresses that, you know, maybe are not doing so well, or they're not engaged in a project, and they know Jennifer and they see her on TV, and there's jealousy. You know, it's just like pettiness, really, what it boils down to. But I do see her kind of, you know, going through a period of withdrawing from certain people the next 2 years. So anywhere between now and 2 years from now, she's going to kind of withdraw from some people that she may have considered close friends, friendships that were just not worthy anymore of that, and moving on into a new phase, you know, new friends, a new social circle. It's going to kind of happen naturally, and there's going to be fluidity there. It's just going to flow for her. And again, I feel like she even may, I don't know her situation about children, but it's so weird because what's coming through is like there is a possibility that she is thinking of another child, but I don't know if she can have one. But again, she's still young. You know, this is just something, it could be, you know, just an idea or a thought. You know, but it's in the spirit is not saying necessarily that that is the case, but maybe these are just thoughts that she's had, you know, or seeing her children grow up, and now seeing, you know, maybe seeing a newborn baby from a best friend who's given birth recently, you know, and that kind of like makes you want to have a child. For some women, you know, that's going to be like something that they see or they feel. So it's very natural for her to go through that. But overall, you know, she is in a good spot, and she's definitely on a, and people say, you know, she's a comeback. She's on her comeback, but she's never gone anywhere. I feel like she's just, you know, gracefully evolved and very strategically knows how to, you know, take some time apart when she needs to rest. And now it's like work mode galore for her. And I wish her all of the success in the world. I am a fan of her, and definitely will always be a fan of Jennifer Love Hewitt. And I want to thank you all for tuning in. If you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, be sure to follow me on Facebook and Instagram. And if you would like to book a private psychic reading with me, you can go to my website. It's www.raymondguzman.net/shop. Blessings, love, and light. Have an amazing day or night wherever you are in the world.